I do not own the rights to the music. It is the music of reggae superstar, internationally acclaimed, the one and only Bob Marley. And what the song I chose to play is relevant. Today I'm going to be talking about peace. And I'm talking about peace from a global perspective. I'm going to go back to the year 1956, when then President Dwight Eisenhower established People to People International. And that organization has done a lot across the globe to promote peace. And we have a chapter here in the state of Delaware. And for the last 6 years, since I opened the Faith Gallery, I have been collaborating with the chapter, that is People to People International Delaware chapter. And we have been working on global murals. Previously, we would work on large murals like 60 by 20 inches mural. They would be rolled, and they were on canvas. They would be sent across the globe. We did win the second prize one year. That is Delaware. However, since the pandemic, we have resorted to the youth creating individual works of art on canvas. And each year, we have a theme. The theme for last year, actually, was KNOW, justice, KNOW, peace. No justice, no peace. The theme, we have elevated that theme this year. And the theme we're working on with the children this year is Unite for Justice, Unite for Peace. And I say, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. There goes that peace. A peaceful city begins with me. Not just a city, a peaceful world. And that's what President Dwight Eisenhower was thinking about when he established People to People International. And that was, again, in 1956. And it was established in the background of that terrible Holocaust, because President Eisenhower felt that something was needed to get people to understand one another. So the global peace movement has been doing that. And here we work with youth, and we get them to dialogue, to engage in discussing peace and justice, because they're inseparable in my vocabulary. You can't talk about peace without talking about justice. And that is the error we normally make. Oh, let's unite. Okay, then, or let's end violence. Let's have peace. And you add, within that context, the word justice is submerged. But peace and justice are the opposite sides of a coin. You can't have one without the other. And rarely. You need to promote justice first. And if there is justice, then there is likely to be peace. It's a hard concept to teach, but we must get people to understand that the essence of peace is justice. The foundation of peace is justice. And if we find ways to execute justice, we would be on our way to establishing peace. So I am very, very delighted this afternoon that I'm going to the Rose Hill Community Center here in Wilmington, Delaware, to meet with a group of Boys and Girls Clubs youth. And we'll be working on the art project. And my colleagues, Sharon Cooper and Marilyn Stavlos and Mary Kate Benson, who organizes the Boys and Girls Clubs, we have been working together for the past 3 years. And we have done a great deal with our youth. They produced some masterpieces last year in their individual murals, and we're going back to this. Last year we did the virtual class. Yes, they created art. I guided them to create art virtually. But this year I'm going to be meeting with the young people, and I'm happy about that, because I am a hands-on visual person, and I love to communicate with the youth. And you know how out there in society we label our youth at risk? No, they're not at risk. They're at promise. That's what Job Corps teaches, that our youth are at promise. And I turn it around to say the youth are at promise and society is at risk. It is the society which is at risk that puts our youth at risk. So if we provide for their needs, and if we train them at an early age about peace and justice, then we would be nurturing the promise in them. So let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. So I'll share some visuals, but before I do the visuals, my t-shirts are usually symbolic. And if you look at the one I'm wearing, it says, "Teach Peace." That is and then I have my peace pendant here. And I'm going to be showing you a few of the images that will come into the discussion. So last year was a trying year for this nation, not just with the pandemic, but you remember the outrage throughout the summer and the marches and the call for justice and knowing peace. So here is the masterpiece I created for this year's theme, which is Unite for Justice, Unite for Peace. It's my profile this morning. And if you may wonder why I am now putting some demarcation on my work. Yes, I, work hard to create the work, and they're mine. They can't be just used. So you will notice now that when I post a piece, I will put the copyright sign and the year it was created. And in parentheses, I am now putting all rights reserved, which means no one has the authority to use a work of art that I created without asking permission, without getting my authorization. Right, that we don't go around stealing people's property, and if you do that with the art. Okay, so back to peace. This is the piece I created this year. And when I meet with my young people this afternoon, we are going to be going on a staircase, looking at peace and justice from a staircase. Now we're going to begin the staircase talking about when there is no justice and there's no peace. And then our children are going to be creating their own version of what is peace and what is justice. What does it look like to them? And they're very discerning. Here's another piece I created, and this is in memory of a peacemaker that we lost earlier this year. actor, yes, Deborah Mohammed. He was one of the co-founders of the Delaware Peacemakers, and he had asked me to create a logo for him. And this is what I created, and he described vividly that he wanted the sun shining down on children of different races. So this piece is called Diversity Piece. And from the song I was playing, and I'm going to put it back to play, again, let me declare, I do not own the rights to the music. I do not own the rights to the music, but I'm going to talk about the next work of art, and I need the music to represent it. So I will... Okay, we will get that music going in a moment. Good afternoon if you're just joining me. I am Eunice Lafayette, owner of Lafayette Gallery Vision Center, located at 227 North Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware. And the subject this afternoon is peace, and it is in conjunction with an organization that is global, the People to People International, founded by President Dwight Eisenhower in the year 1956. And that was a response to the horrors of the Holocaust. And he felt that people needed to know, to get to meet and know one and understand one another. And that organization has been doing a lot of outreach for peace across the nation and the world. There's a chapter in almost every country of People to People International. And this afternoon we are meeting. It's a 2-day workshop with the youth, and we will be creating works of art that represent the theme for this year, which is Unite for Justice, Unite for Peace. Because where there is justice, then we can encourage peace. We can actually achieve peace if we have justice. So in the symbol represented here, I put the scale of justice and the peace sign and the hands, representing all ethnicities, red, yellow, black, and white, and brown, reaching out to the symbols of peace and justice. So in a moment, I'll be leaving to go to my class over at the Rose Hill Center, Community Center, here in Wilmington, Delaware. I am really looking forward to meeting the children and to working with them on this summer art project for People to People International Delaware chapter. I'll fill you in with more of that tomorrow. Tomorrow is the actual day when the children create the work. Today we are setting the stage, and we have a lot of discussion and slides, etc. And tomorrow we are going to be putting them to work. And then I will be sharing with you some more of the images that are related to this subject. Notice I put on the screen my website, because, symbols of peace and symbols of justice should not just be talk. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Aptly so. So if we're going to teach our children about peace and justice, then we should represent the symbols around them. Let them see things that represent it. Let them identify it. Let them talk about it. Engage them in a discussion. And for that matter, I provide art of a variety of different themes. And one of my themes is social justice, which embraces peace and justice. So the works of art that are out there, you should be acquiring them to share and put them around your office or in your home. And to acquire them, if you live in the city of Wilmington, Delaware, Lafayette Gallery is located at 227 North Market Street. And the hours are Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then there are two online galleries. My personal online gallery, www.lafayettegallery.com, and a gallery I consign with that produces products from my artwork, like mugs and t-shirts and a variety of products, and that is that Fine Art America. And I did establish a link. There's a link. You click that link and you go to my website. You will find pieces that are relevant to peace and justice and just about everything there. There are about 20 images on that site. So go for it. Go for it and acquire art and use art to teach peace and justice. And while you acquire the art, just remember that it is more than beauty. It is wealth. Art is wealth. Thank you for watching. Have a great afternoon.